Yes. The configuration of the S on my chest, ripping the mic and take the best. Everybody knows I'm a winner. More punk rap, mom for dinner. Slow shit down, the planet starts to nova. Step on the low key pokey, you're over. The whole community doesn't have immunity. Step to the mic and you might see me. They'll try to call you back up. You shouldn't act up. You made a lot of dough off my style that you racked up. Yo, and my success was no Harley Boy mystery. The bell rings to sing, and then I bring my people to the gate, then lock out Chung King. I'm a roll, but I roll no spliff. You call yourself a rapper, you can't rap gifts. Yes, you know how I do. Bit of chub rock to loosen up the pipes. Yes, let's go. Can anyone name that chub rock song? If anyone names that chub rock song, I'll big you up, and big you up. Damn, son. Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. All right. Cool. Here's the stream here. Yeah, maybe I should have thought about that. Should have thought about putting a thumbnail on it, innit? Put a thumbnail on it, me old son. All right. Right, let's see if I can find something. Empty? Some empty cell, bro. Some empty cell. Yeah. Let's go here. Let's use this one for now. And stop the nonsense. Martin Bacoli puts his name forward. He's having it. What's going on here? What's going on? Ah, Grasshopper. Big up Kieran. Big up Mike 104. Mike 04, living up to the name, boxing beats and rhymes. Says, nah, can't name it, not gonna lie. Guzzy, big up. Tony Bartlett, what's good? Alright, let's talk some boxing. Bacoli puts his name up in the shake-up for that February date against Daniel Dubois. Daniel is a worthy champion. Last 3 wins suggest he's a worthy champion. And I don't care if you're going to say, you're only saying that because he beat Joshua. Well, if that's the case, I can't really say anything then because he kicked Joshua's ass. But what I'm going to say is it's unfair on Daniel, right? It's unfair because anyone who gets the belt, whether just single, unified, or undisputed, you become a target. And I think people are going to be queuing up to fight Daniel Dubois. I think people are going to be queuing up. I think a lot of people still think that the Quidditch reputation from the Joe Joyce fight from the Usyk fight. They don't think Daniel's shaking it off. And I think a lot of people still think, I think a lot of heavyweights, fancy their chances. They fancy their chances with Daniel. But then again, they always fancy their chances with AJ, Fury. Once you've got the belt, you've got a target. You've got the target. Can Daniel live up to what, I guess what he defines, how he defines himself? Like, Daniel sees himself as hot, S-H-I-T, and he should do. Can he live up to that? Can Daniel put a seal on this championship reign? Big up, Guzzy. Yeah, the song is called Some Old Neck-ish. Mike 104, it's called Some Old Neck-ish. It's just an album cut. But I think it was my favorite cut of, what was the album called? It was in the 90s, man. I forgot the name of the album. It was my favorite cut, though. Big up Toby. Big up Toby in the chat. Guzzy says, I still need to see him in there with one more top 5. Yeah, man. Guzzy says, AJ was really bad that night. Unbelievably bad. Unbelievably bad. And you don't want to take away from Daniel's win, and you can't take away from Daniel's win. But he was unbelievably bad. Every time I watch it, and I've watched it a few, I'm like, I've seen AJ make mistakes, but not as much as that. Not as much as that. Maybe it was Daniel. You got to give Daniel the credit then. You got to give Daniel the credit. But it was unbelievably bad. And punctuated it with that uppercut after. After he got back in the fight to throw that uppercut. That's a rookie mistake that Abdullah Mason made the other day. But Abdullah Mason's a kid. I'm hearing people talking about Abdullah Mason's chin. Listen, bro. You think you can make them mistakes in a ring and not get paid? Listen, maybe you don't have a chin, but it's too early. It's too early to be talking about that kid's chin. If you're 5'10", which he is, right? 5'10" with a 74-inch reach, yeah? And then you decide to throw arced punches, whether that's a hook or uppercut, with a short arm guy. You're asking for trouble. First round. And you're loading. You didn't even come up the jet. You're asking for trouble. You'll end up on the canvas. And that's what AJ did. AJ got back up in the fight. Why he threw that uppercut? He's probably asking himself the same thing. What was I doing? He was trying to finish him off with one shot. I think he was gassed up of his last 2 stoppage wins. He was incredibly bad. Incredibly bad. My God, listen, you don't have to throw them big haymakers, AJ. You got to do is touch him with the jab and touch him and touch him. Keep your hands up. Give him some side to side. I am tingling. Touch him, touch him. I mean, there's no need for you to land this big haymaker. But Daniel threw some beautiful shot. That left hook that buckled AJ in, that was a serious. I was like, wow. That left hook is nasty, bro. That's a nasty left hook. I think it was the second round, that left hook. I was like, oof. He was throwing some haymakers in there, man. Yeah. The Martin Bacoli fight would be something special, though. That would be something special. He's with Boxer. He's with Boxer. Okay. Huh. Oscar still talking crap. Oscar Raw slams Canelo and Eddie. Is that all you do? Is that all Oscar does? Is slam people? Like, my gosh. Yeah. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. What's the scenario? The cash out fight for Devin. Is that what we're talking about now? A cash out fight for Devin against Teofimo Lopez? Some people have said it's fake news. Is it a real thing? It's hard to tell these days, isn't it? Like America is just like full of see, Ben Shalom is the closest thing we have to America. Like, yeah, we're gonna make this fight. It's Harlem Eubank, Adam Azim fight, and then it don't happen. You know what I mean? Like Ben just like hype up stuff for no reason. Like flipping hell. The amount of fights they call in America that don't come off. The amount. Right, they're saying the fight's in serious doubt. And Teofimo Lopez shuts down Devin Haney negotiations. He denies. Like, man, it's just. Social media has done American boxing no favors. It hasn't done British boxing no favors, to be honest, but it's really done like the credibility of American boxing because there's so much stories that come out of there. Like, did Wilder actually put it on recorded? Did he? Is that actually recorded? What he said about the break in his arm? He has the worst excuses in the history of boxing. The worst. You broke your arm and it was broken in 2 fights and you didn't know because you've got the highest pain threshold. You know, is that better than the costume was too heavy for him? Or the egg weights in the gloves? He's got the best excuses. Wilder just lines them up, bro. Wilder lines up the excuses. Broken arm, you know. Oh, you actually saw the video, Coppin? He said it out of his own mouth. Wow, wow. Dodge said it's destroyed US boxing beats. Yeah, it's just become weird, isn't it? Kieran says AJ wasn't right in that fight. Maybe that OBR worked. the judge got you. I mean, the judge. It's the judge, yo. Dodge said beats. Don't let me relive that. The long steer by AJ had me worried. Man, let's see if he can come back in it. Coppin said I think he was catching a plane. Wilder was catching a plane when he said what he said about a broken arm. Wow, this is what it is. And he's got no shame at all, has he? He's got no shame. Breland conspired against him, and then one of them derails. Then it was white supremacy. And it was like, oh, man. Wow. Fury cheated. Breland cheated him. Oh, gosh. And now this broken arm. Wow. I could never support a boxer like that. I could never support a boxer like that because, nah. Just do my head in, bro. Just do my head in. Just do my head in. Right. What else is good in boxing, people? What else is good? What else is good? Egg weights, yeah. He had egg weights in the gloves. Not eggs out of his head. Well. So good, Deontay. So good. So good. Your fan base lap it up. I mean, and they love all that. The wilder the excuse, pardon the pun, wilder the excuse. The wilder the excuse, the better for them. That's what I mean. Mike Tyson says, fans. All right, let's present. I present to you Iron Mike Tyson. All right, let's see if we can get this story lined up. You know, line up this story, Mike, because we ain't staying on too long. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to stay on too long. There's been an uneasy feeling about Tyson coming out of a 2-decade long retirement at age 58 to challenge Jake Paul. Or not to challenge, to say Jake Paul is challenging Mike, isn't it? So they're talking about a scary ulcer flare-up. Was that on the plane? For the earlier planned date of July the 20th. So we're ready to hit the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A Netflix production. 8-2s with 14-ounce gloves. It'll be alright. What, 14-ounce gloves? Jake ain't gonna fucking put a dent in him, man. 8-2s? Mike says, thank you very much for being concerned, but I'm fighting. I'm going to be okay. What am I worried about? There's nothing I can think of or nothing that I am contemplating. I was born to do this. I was built for this stuff. I was born to sell out stadiums. This is what I always wanted to do my entire life. Once the youngest heavyweight champion of all, well, when you say once, he still is. No one's beaten the record. Who's beat the record? Dumbass. The last time Mike fought was when he wasn't knocked out by Kevin McBride, but he was stopped. Yeah. The journeyman. The big Irish fella. Times change, said Tyson. I was a different person then. I was using narcotics and alcohol back then. I'm not that person anymore. I see a bigger picture, a better picture of myself. I see light. I see the world from a different perspective now. It's time for me to come back. I did the Roy Jones exhibition and now I want to fight again. Costiamato will be so happy that I'm doing this and proving the world that age is nothing but a number. That was an Aaliyah song, wasn't it? Age ain't nothing but a number. Tyson tossed himself to the titanium spirit against the YouTuber turned knockout artist Jake Paul. 10-1 and 7 knockouts. After putting the content creator on his undercard during the Jones event in 2020. Iron Mike warned the 27-year-old to take the fight very seriously. He's good enough to get to the level to fight me, said Mike. My intentions are to go in there, fight hard, and hurt him. I'm coming out in the first round like a rocket, said Mike. I'm going the distance every day in the gym. I'm prepared. I'm in condition. Yeah. All right. Why are people so concerned about Mike? Is what I want to know. is 8-2s with bloody big pillow gloves. Give me 2 seconds, people. I mean, okay. Toby Bartlett said, young Farrell was Wilder's #1 fan on the Go2 channel during Glovegate, but once he earned his money with clicks and views and super chats, he was gone as quick as he appeared. Yes, he was. Yeah. Guzzy said it was over after that Danny Williams fight. Well, Mike, what did Mike say? Mike, what did he respond? He was using narcotics, all right, and alcohol, but he was burning a lot of weed recently. Didn't he have ownership or part ownership of a dispensary? And he was smoking, him and his crew were smoking thousands of pounds every month. It was a lot of money. I don't understand like why people are so up in arms about Mike Tyson fighting. I really don't get it. Mike's been fighting all of his life. In the ring, at airports, people piss him off. Mike wants to fight. Mike, well, been fighting all the time. Yeah, he could get knocked out. He's 58. He could die in the ring at 58. Of course he could. But then again, so could Jake. So could a 19-year-old. How was that kid who died in New York Hall just the other month? Yeah, he had a huge weed dispensary, don't you? And like, how come okay, people are concerned about Mike boxing. It's become this big thing. Oh, Mike, don't box, don't box. But when he was smoking spliff after spliff and he was doing it online, no one raised a bit of concern. Is that healthy? No, it's not healthy. Yeah? And the former herbalist and a man who used to burn it down, I could tell you, when you are, you know, just smoking constantly, it's not a good thing. And nobody was concerned about that. And in fact, this fight has been a positive because he's not smoking. He's given up smoking. And perhaps he's taking these fights because, yeah, he can get his body into a semblance of shape, get his mind into a semblance of shape without marijuana. This might be his only way to get away from it. Let me tell you this. When I stopped, I'm not going to go through the story. Yeah, I don't want to get the video shut down or I can't monetize. I had to go through obstacles and trials to get away from my addiction. Yeah, I call it an addiction. My addiction. I had to go through a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I tell you what, when I gave up, I got so fit because not straight after, it took me a long time. Oh, I need to go gym. I started going gym and I got so fit because it kind of replaced it. Replaced it. You know what I mean? So this is probably salvation for him. You know what I mean? He's priming for a big fight. He's excited about that. That's what Mike does. Mike was in the Junior Olympics. He was knocking out big men when he was a kid as an amateur. You know, youngest heavyweight champion ever. Yeah, of course it could go bad on Saturday. It could go bad for anyone. Like, you hope it don't. It could go bad for Jake. It could go bad for Katie. It could go bad for Amanda and anyone else on the card. It's a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous sport. But I'm not worried for Mike. And I say that from a point of view, even if something does go wrong, I'm not worried because I know the dangers of the sport, not just for Mike. And I know the dangers increase the older you get. But this is what Mike wants to do, man. Like, I don't get when people aren't happy when people are doing what they want to do. I don't get why, oh, don't do it. They're doing what makes them feel good. I don't get why people kick back against that. I've never understood it. It's the weirdest thing about society. It's kicking back against people who are doing what they want to do. Big up Anthony Mackin. I've never understood it. Anthony said, I'm not worried for Mike. If anyone knows the dangers of the sport, it will be Mike Tyson. Right. You see, the thing is, right, you see what you're saying there? Mike knows the danger. You know why Mike really knows the dangers? Because Mike knows what it's like to knock somebody out. He's done it so many times. Bust up people, mash them up, right? And one thing about boxing, this is what I remember when I used to train and do a bit of sparring. The better you get, the more concerned you are about what could happen to you. Because if you can top someone up like that and you get to a point where you can really hurt people, that can be done to you. You realize, yo, if I can do that, if I'm not on my game, it can be done to me. The better you get, the more responsibility you have of maintaining your awareness of what you're in, or what a dangerous sport you're in. I'm not worried about Mike. I'm not worried about Mike. I'm not worried about Jake. You know what I mean? I'd probably be more worried if Mike, returns back to that heavy WEED habit. I'd be more concerned with that. Sosa, how can I feel sorry for anyone getting 20 million in 16 minutes worth of fighting? There you go. Even if Mike was to get hurt, he leaves his family with that generational wealth. He leaves them with generational wealth. And as a provider for a family, if you're going to lose your life, at least let it be a worthwhile cause. Now, I know money ain't everything. Yeah? I know money ain't everything, but hey, at least his kids, will have control over their lives, and their kids will have control over their lives. If you're going to risk your health, make sure you're getting the dough. You know what I mean? So, okay, some people are saying it could be scripted. Slevin E and Anthony Mackin, it could be scripted. Kieran, he said he's disappointed in Jake Paul for wanting to fight a man who's twice his age and hasn't had a pro fight in 19 years. Mike called for the fight as much as Jake, though. Why are you disappointed in Jake? Mike called for the fight. Mike was looking for a fight. You guys can't protect Mike Tyson, man. You don't protect. Look, you don't protect And when I say I don't really believe there are much alpha males amongst the male human species. But let's just use that word. We don't get to protect alpha males, and we don't get to protect like strong-minded females. We don't get to protect them. We don't get to protect people like that. They take it into their own hands. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get paid. I'm going to grace the stage and show you what I'm about. Yeah? We don't get to protect accomplished people. We don't get to protect. That's not our bag, bro. That's not our role, bro. That's not our role. We don't get to protect them. You know what I mean? Let me get some drink. You know, sorry guys. Sorry. I'm gonna get some juice. You know what I mean? People like DMX. We don't get to protect DMX from himself. DMX came out in the 90s with back-to-back LPs. Yeah? With back-to-back LPs. And they blew the spot out. I've seen him perform live. He's a phenom. But he was also addicted to a lot of substances. The more money he got, the circles he hung with, they all aided and abetted him. And I'm not saying that it was them who put him in this position. No, he indulged. He indulged. He indulged. He went in the studio. He performed. He done films. Right. Took him a long time to get in the game. I remember them songs he done with Dr. Zeus when he sounded totally different from the early 90s. I heard DMX on Kiss FM. There was one song called "A Born Loser," but you can't save him. Like, for some people, it's gonna be spectacular, but sure, it's not going to be this long, you know, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to settle into society and be regular. No, they're going to blow up and blow out. Yeah, ODB as well, BG. Big up BG London. Big up, nice example. ODB. ODB was just crazy. Like, his music, like, his rap style wasn't a rap. What was that? It was crazy. It was unhinged. It was unhinged. And that's who he was. That's who he was. You know? Got to let people live their course, man. You know what I mean? Anthony Mackin, if Tyson wins in spectacular style, we might see more of these old versus young celebrity gimmick fights. Beats, what are your thoughts after the Kevin McBride fight? That was ages ago. It looked like he was done at the time. That was ages. Guzzy, Tyson wanted to start an old boxers league for real. Slevin, we need all types of people in a healthy society. Susan M, another great example. Amy Winehouse. That one burns me to this day. I love Amy's music. Some of my friends hate Amy Winehouse, man, but I love her music. I love her music. I liked her producer as well, Mark Ronson. I thought he was a very talented kid. And Amy burnt out. Amy just burnt out because Amy liked singing. She liked the whole process of making the music, but she also couldn't get off that thing. She couldn't get off the thing, bruh. And it is what it is. You know? It's about coping, isn't it? Life is about coping. It's like you either cope or you find a way out. How old was she? How old was Amy when she passed away? I tell you what, it messed me up when she passed as well, Susan. I'm not gonna lie, because I really liked her music. I always thought, boy, I reckon Amy could pull out of this and clean up. And she's a Camden girl, isn't it? And like when she passed, I was just living just up the road, just basically up the road from her. She's Camden, isn't it? She was Camden, yeah. Oh, she was born in Southgate. Yeah, she died in Camden, man. The ends, bro. Ends. She's from the ends. 27. 27. 2011. 13 years back. She'll be 40 now. And you know what messed me up? I tell you what messed me up about Amy, right? Because she's not a conventional, like when I say conventional, she's not probably a cosmopolitan beauty. But when she started, I always thought she was kind of attractive, and then she kind of lost whatever she had going for her looks and her body and everything, and it's like, wow, just fell off. It just fell off. It fell off horrible. You know what I mean? It just fell off horrible. It's a shame. It was a shame. What can you do? I used to like her as an artist, man. I used to like her, but she wasn't. She couldn't fight her emotions with her music, her relationships, and her addiction. She just couldn't fight all the three of them. She couldn't, and it took her out. It took her out. Yeah. Slevin E. Spectacular rise comes with a spectacular fall for many. It is what it is. Yeah, like Coltrane and Miles Davis. Like, yeah, like, listen, man, them guys, you know, they did what they did, right? And they were very innovative, but there's only so much ways, yeah, you can make the horn sound. There's only so much ways you can do that, and there's only so much um, different journeys you can take with whatever substances you're experimenting with. There's only even that has a limit. That has a limit. Yeah, that has a limit, man. That has a limit. Gotta let things go in it. You got to let things go. 27 years of age. Big up Susan M. Slevin, Mike's kids and wife should talk to him if they think he's in danger. Yeah, well, he's got his family. I'm sure if they ain't happy with what's going on, they'll voice their concerns. You know? Anthony said, that's true. Some people couldn't handle growing old. They weren't meant to blow up. Yeah. Yeah, and die young. I said the same thing about Tommy Morrison. He wanted to live like that and meant to go out that way. Yeah, he was a nasty piece of work though. He was sleeping with women when he knew he had the monster, isn't it? When he knew he had the monster, he's still sleeping with women, which is foul. Foul individual. Foul. What do I think about Ike Ibiabushi, the president? Well, he still looks in shape. What else can Ike do? Is the thing, Ed Derry. What else can he do? I don't think there's much else someone like that can do. He can fight. See, Ike can fight. He can fight. Yeah? You don't ask Ike to come and help you paint your bedroom and your kitchen because he's gonna mess it up. Yeah? You call Ike if you've got issues of beef or something. You call Ike then. That's who you call Ike. And then he'll be very useful. Or if you got a match for him to fight. You know what I mean? That's what they do. They fight, man. He can fight. He can fight. But once again, he's a troubled one, isn't he? Like, how did he end up in jail? Did he take his woman's car? And I don't know if he must have kidnapped her son, and then he crashed the car into a wall, and he mashed the kid was messed up. I don't think the kid recovered. We're like, he's a nutter. He's an absolute sight job. Anthony said some people just can't function without burning the candle at both ends. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Mr. Classic Metal. Yep. Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, Brian Jones, Hendrix. All of them. Yeah. All of them. All of them. Yeah. All of them. Elvis Presley. All of them. Matt Balfour says 27 Club. Are there more famous people at 27? Kieran said he'd prefer Amy Winehouse to Adele. Adele's got some good songs though. Yeah, Nas and Amy, they had quite a close friendship. Classic Metal. For some reason, Keith Richards and Ozzy are still alive. Well, Ozzy's still alive because his wife. He's got a wife and quite a strong family. You know what I mean? And he's a Birmingham man. I mean, they're pretty tough up that region there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, Mr. Classic Metal. Maybe Ivy Borshi can host a talk show. That should be fun to watch. Sleveny, you can see Holyfield being a decent painter or builder. BG says, I'm not calling Ike for nothing now. I wouldn't call him. Yeah, Slevin, the kid could never walk again. The kid could never walk again. He's a nutcase. He's an absolute nutcase. Keith Moon, says Toby Bartlett. Yeah, it's just wild. Just wild. Just wild, man. Oh, Mr. Classic Metal says those musicians I mentioned all died at 27 years of age. I'd be a bullshit Louis Ortiz. Why Louis Ortiz? What's Louis Ortiz ever done anything? He's never done anything. Why would I match him in any type of fight? Sleveny, he was diagnosed bipolar. Diagnosed something. Dr. Wolf tickets. Janis Joplin was 27. Oh, bloody hell. Wow. And Mike said a few times. He said he said I don't think it was a suicide plea, but he's saying, yeah, death is better than here. He said he can't wait to die. Mike ain't scared to fight, man. I mean, Mike's come to terms with a lot of things, whether it's through too much mushrooms or weed or coke or whatever he was taking. And see, that's the thing. Once you use too much substances into a certain period of your life, like there's certain thresholds there's no coming back from. And it will desensitize you to a lot of stuff that people who don't use, who don't have a dependency, would never like consider. You know? So, and then you've got his career, like his career. Listen, every time a boxer goes into spar or to fight, they know they could lose their lives. They become the threshold where they're desensitized to certain things that me and you can't fathom. Give me 20 million to fight Jake Paul. Yeah, sign me up is what Mike's saying. Yeah, sign me up. He'd prefer that than walk through Brownsville by himself at an ungodly hour, knowing that they're ready to clean his clock. You know what I mean? Like for over madness. Yeah, yeah. Eddie Hearn welcomes potential arrival of Top Rank to boxing. Matchroom, Golden Boy, and Queensbury are all joining forces on the streaming service in April, with the Top Rank deal with ESPN set to expire in summer 2025. The company is looking at the possibility of a new home or multiple homes. That doesn't mean Top Rank will end up on DAZN, but the promotion fight cast potentially landing on DAZN does not bother Eddie Hearn, who heads up Matchroom. The more the merrier, is what he told Ariel Helwani. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Sleveny, he says Mike is feeling young again. Yeah, Mike's feeling good now. He's training. He's what I mean. He's in shape. He's not having to use weed to be functional. Yeah. Souza, did you watch Mike's workout? He looks slow. I'm not surprised at 58. Not surprised. Toby Bartlett, wasn't James Dean 27? Yeah, he was young. Big up Case K. He was young. Slevin E. Didn't they try to stop Roy Jones fighting back in the day? And he said he would jump off a bridge if they stop him. Yeah, it's like that's what Roy knows. That's what his dad brought him into, is fighting. That's what they know. That's what they know, man. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you're in the ends, there's certain cats, no matter how much threats they get to their life or how much times they go to prison, they're still going to keep doing what they're doing. Because the way they see it, they're not just going to do the regular 9 to 5 thing. They're going to take chances, and take chances. And you're either going to have to take them out or lock them away. And they've accepted that. Some people have accepted it. You know, Jake Paul does not scare Mike Tyson. He looks at him like an average civilian. Now, whether he can manage to beat him in a boxing match is something different, says Anthony McIntyre. Yeah, he's not afraid of Jake Paul. Not afraid of him. The man fought flipping Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield and Larry Holmes. Not afraid of no Jake Paul. Yadari beats. Can you imagine Muhammad Ali was a southpaw heavyweight? Why? Case K, if Mike wins or lose, I won't be shocked. The man is almost 60. Yeah, he's an old boy now. He's an old boy. Case K, he says, I don't want to see Mike to lose to Jake Paul. I'd rather see Mike fight Shannon Briggs or someone. But boxing is all Mike knows, even at 60. Yeah, I mean, if he loses, you know what I mean? You know, I don't want to see him get like brain damage. Maybe that, but if he loses, I mean that's part of boxing. Like Holyfield, who did Holyfield like? Was it Belfelt or whatever his name? He looked like he was on ice skates, man. He looked like he was on ice skates. Old legs, Evander. Old legs. The body didn't look too bad, but your legs is old, rude boy. Old legs. Yeah? Old legs. Victor Belfort. That's the one case. Yeah, Oscar swerved the Vitor fight, man. Oscar swerved it. Oscar know about that. Oscar knows he can't fight no more. Didn't he say he needs 2 months to prepare for Eddie Hearn? How you need 2 months to prepare for Eddie Hearn? Yeah, Slevin E. Parkinson, only reason Ali stopped without it, he would have kept fighting. Loved competing too much. Yeah, he liked the limelight. He liked the limelight. He liked the money that came in it. And he liked the platform it gave him. Yeah, he would have kept going. Of course. He would have kept going. Case K. Notice Oscar is calling out Eddie Hearn instead of Vitor Belfort or Shane Mosley. And he still needs 2 months to prepare. Oscar crazy, man. Oscar just batshit crazy. Wow. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. I'm looking forward to Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, even though I won't be seeing the event live. I'm going to be covering, probably going to cover Zerto and Chris Billion. Probably going to cover that one. What's going on there? All right. Oscar's brain is fried from CTE and drugs, says Case. Yes, indeed. There's no way he can fight. The man needs 2 months to prepare for Eddie Hearn, you know. And Eddie had a couple of amateur fights when he was a kid. Souza, he says, Mike Tyson has ruined Oscar's Latino night. No one even knows it's happening. Well, I'm not focusing on the Tyson fight. I'm focusing on Latino night. I want to see Chris Billion and Zerto. That's what I want to see. I'll catch the highlights of Mike's joint. You know what I mean? Ulix. Big up Ulix. Kind of surprised De La Hoya said the rest of the ring. Sold the rest of the Ring magazine, to be honest. Well, why are you surprised? Like, they're not doing no hard printed copies for a couple of years, apparently. You know what I mean? And like Turkey's going to put it back on the shelves. But see, I'm not in America. Like, they're shutting down WH Smiths over here like crazy. So we're like, they're going to start restocking the Ring magazine in the shops in the UK. Where do you get to buy sports magazines in the UK anymore? That industry, like, we don't have proper news agents no more. They don't exist. Like, you might be able to get magazines here and there in a supermarket or certain convenience stores, but they're not proper news agents. They're not proper news agents no more. People don't really buy newspapers. People get the free joints from the tube station, innit? The Metro and the Independent. Linkage says supermarkets still. Yeah, but it's limited what you can get in there. Like, I haven't seen a boxing news for ages because the nearest WH Smith to me is quite a distance away. It's probably at least 2 miles. The nearest WH Smith to me. Anthony Mackin says boxing magazines are outdated. Everything is online and on your phone. That's what I'm saying, Anthony. They're making a big deal about them purchasing the Ring magazine. And like I said yesterday, they've probably overpaid for it. People don't really buy magazines like that no more. You know what I mean? Like the Ring, I mean, the Ring is the Bible. What Bible or what? Case and Beats. I had an argument with a so-called buddy who was a Tank fanboy, and I told him Tank will duck Keyshawn, and he got mad. Tank won't fight anyone who is a threat to him. I tell you what, man, Keyshawn looked good. He looked good. What Keyshawn needs, he needs another performance like that, and then the pressure will be like immense. One more like that. You know what I mean? Two consecutive outstanding performances. And then Tank will have nowhere to go. Yeah. Case K, I haven't bought a boxing magazine in 20 years. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The print medium is dead, like Bungus Monkage said. The cost of running the printers themselves has now become larger than staffing an entire website. There you go. There you go. Anthony Mackin. The last time I remember buying the boxing news was when Orly Harrison was starting his pro career and considered a future heavyweight champion. Yeah. When we talking 2002, that was whenever. Toro, he says it could be a collector's item in the futures, a snapshot in history. I'm down for a quality magazine if they do it. Long live boxing beats and rhymes. Now you see boxing news, yeah. I think I made a mistake, because I haven't seen a physical printed copy for a long time. I used to see a few of them in the supermarket, but I haven't seen one for ages. But they still do physical copies. They still have physical copies. I don't. Gosh, maybe you got to get them because towards the end of when I was buying boxing news, I was getting it delivered. And I was telling them, I said, by the time you deliver it to me, the news is obsolete. And that's because I've got access to everything online. And they says, oh, well, you can still keep them as collector's items, like you're saying, Toro. Just keep them as collectors. I said, man, let cancel this thing, man. Yeah. Anthony Mackin, he is Team Keyshawn right now. The kid is legit. Yeah, he looked good last time out, man. That is team. Dr. Wolf tickets. The ring is like the Bible in that lots of people talk about it, but very few actually read it. Good one. Yeah, man. I was arguing with that idiot online. He was trying to diss the boxing news. Boxing news came out 13 years. The first boxing magazine, the boxing news in the UK, 13 years before the ring, right? And what I forgot to mention yesterday is they used to hand out belts. They used to hand out belts to boxing news. A couple of times they handed out belts early, right? So all this, it all started. No, it didn't. No, it all started here, mate. Right? Queensbury Rules, boxing news, Lonsdale belt, lineage belts like Lonsdale belt. Yeah, started here. In fact, the first Lonsdale belt won by Freddie Welsh, 1909, at Covent Garden against Summers. What fight did I remember? I detected it. Because he didn't care about the Lonsdale belt, Freddie Welsh. All his money was being made when he was fighting in America, right? And his Lonsdale belt ended up being awarded to what's his name again, man? Tony Canzoneri. Tony Canzoneri versus who? It was weird. They awarded the Lonsdale belt to Tony Canzoneri in America in a world title fight. Yeah, that's the last time his belt was seen. And let me tell you this now, right? You used to hear the American journalists, right? They used to big up the boxing news. They all used, like the journalists into boxing, like the Graham Houstons and what's his name? One of my favorites, Nigel Collins. You ask them about the boxing news because they appreciated, the American magazines, they only come out once a month. Boxing news came out every week without fail. They come in America, Australia, like China, wherever, or Japan, everywhere. America, Europe, wherever there was boxing, they covered it. They had journalists there all the time, every week. Let me tell you, that is a brilliant, the boxing news, the brilliant magazine. Brilliant. Let me tell you, I'll tell you what, yeah? I remember that flipping time, right? When the Asian man had the news agents and he used to keep my boxing news for me every Friday. I'm a come from work, you know. I'm a got a blood clot news agent, you know. Yeah, you got my magazine, mate. No, I sold it. I went, you what? I said, hold on. I've been coming here for years. And you reserved the magazine, you sold it. And I'm looking at him like, are you stupid? And he's looking at me with this stupid grin on his face. The man sell my boxing news. Hey, listen, I was tight, boy. I was tight. Sell my boxing. Wow. Anthony Mackin, the articles were well written. Excellent, excellent writing. Very well written. They covered all the domestic fights over here. They used to have a letters page where people used to write their thoughts in. I used to love the letters page. You know what I mean? They had the amateur section at the back, right? Then the old timers corner. Listen, that boxing, this brilliant back magazine. Brilliant magazine. Brilliant magazine. Blues Beno. He says boxing news used to show all the area champions and the top tens. Well said. It's how you found out who was up and coming locally. Yep. 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 They covered everything. Everything. Weekly. 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 Yep. Blues. He said he buys digital mags. Linkage. Does the owner of the Ring magazine control the ring belt? That I'm not sure about. Ulix. Who has room for mags nowadays? Yeah, but it's a shame. You know, like I like it's nice reading the magazine. Like you can't go back because this is the new thing in the technology. But it'd be nice. Like I remember some like I used to work at this warehouse when I was a kid, and what I would do like lunchtime, I'd flip in either drive or walk down. You know what I mean? It'd be quite a distance to walk and get my magazine, come back, and I'd read it like at lunchtime. And it's like, yeah, man, it's the love doing it. Reading it. Reading is it's a great skill to keep up with, man. Like you know, your comprehension like levels go up when you just read something. Case K, I don't see Tank fighting Keyshawn. They're going to literally have to force Tank into that ring, which is a shame, isn't it? He should want to fight Keyshawn, man. The good old-fashioned Ribena. Anthony Mack, and what I liked about the boxing news is the coverage it gave to the local British boxers. Made them seem like stars to a youngster like me reading it. Yeah, 100%. Bungus, he says Turkey bought that stats website, buys Ring magazine, chances them getting combined into one big site. Well, what he needs to sort out now is I don't know what's that like BoxRec, you know what I mean? Like BoxRec no longer have the WBA information on the website. Yeah? So if, for instance, Zerdo wins on Saturday or Chris Billion Smith, it's just gonna show his belt and the result of the fight. But not gonna say it's not gonna say the WBA anything. It's not gonna mention the WBA. So if he's gonna like go into recordings of the results and the history of the sport. They've got to resolve that. That fight. What's it called again? Let me see what it's called. It's not. I'm like Fight Facts. Fight Facts don't work like the Zone, bruh. Like not the Zone. Like Box Rec. Fight Facts don't work like Box Rec. It doesn't. Right. Did I make a... I'm signing in with Google for Fight Facts. Next step. Yeah, it doesn't quite work for me, man. Fight Facts. Don't quite work for me. Box Rec is just simple. You know, it's comfortable. Anthony says, I have to admit, it was the boxing news that made me start going to pro shows. Yeah. Sleveny, he doesn't like the digital mags. Anthony says, I was like you, Beats. I was excited to read the boxing news. That is true. Your comprehension and breadth of vocabulary increases when you read. It does. It does. It definitely does. You know what I mean? Because when you read, you normally find a place of solitude to read. So, you know, you it's just you, the words, and that's that. And like you can't get that with a lot of the mediums of content. You can't get the same comprehension for whatever you're into, whether it's boxing, politics, music, blues. He says, I prefer a proper magazine, but it's the storage after a while. Loath to throw them out. Yeah, that is very true. You end up collecting a whole lot of magazines, and the storage, it does become an issue. Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, man. Yes, man. So a lot of boxing to come up this weekend. A whole load of boxing. Let's see what's happening on X, on the X Files, or Twitter as I still call it. Anything interesting going on? Wow. All the best on your wife having a double bypass, man. Man, that's the wife, man. It's not easy, man. But like when you got loved ones who are ill, it's not a good thing, man. Because it takes a toll on you. It can actually start taking a toll on you. You know. Yeah. So Ron Katz is an old school journalist, old school boxing journalist. Big up, Ron. Okay. Not much except Jake Paul and Mike. Man, I hope Katie can put the hands on Amanda. I like Amanda, but you know, I want Katie to win. I support my Irish sister. I want Katie to win. Slovenia, they need to look at other markets, get these mags in Arabic for the Arab market, and look at the Far East market. Yeah. Case, still got magazines from 15 years ago. He never threw them out. We got Sosa. Did anyone give Audley a chance against Hay back in the day? Or did everyone expect that? Yeah, listen, man, we all knew Audley was blagging it. We all knew Audley blagged that one proper, innit? Proper Halsden blag that one. That was some proper Halsden blag. You know what I mean? See, I don't know Audley. I don't know James DeGill. James DeGill is a Halsden cat. Yeah, definitely a Halsden cat, right? But I mean, James could fight. Audley gave it the proper Halsden blag. The proper Halsden blag. He blagged it. He blagged it. Big time blagged it. You're like, flipping out. How did you manage to get? And him and Eddie. See Eddie? Him and Eddie. That's like, hey, you know something? They should make a short film on Eddie and Audley blagging themselves into a world title shot. It would be a great film. Just concentrate on them blagging into the fight and then it flopping like that. Because Eddie had to go for a whole load of stick. Big up, blood boxing. Big yourselves up. Yes. Much appreciate the super chat, blood. Big yourselves up. Yeah. Like, you know what it was, right? I think it was Barry. It was Barry who brought Audley over to Matchroom and Sky, right? So I think let me make sure I'm right, because I think it's the Michael Sprott fight, right? Let me see. And hey, don't slag off Audley because I like Audley. You know what I mean? Audley, an Olympic gold medalist. I like Audley. But he blagged it. Audley shouldn't have been getting that title shot. Audley knows he blagged it. That was the original Halsden blag. I know a lot of Halsden do. I used to be up there a lot. That's the Halsden blag. Audley had an 86-inch reach, you know. 86-inch reach. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was that fight there. Right? It was on Matchroom on Sky. Barry Hearn and Mick Hennessy promoted. Right? So Barry pulled Audley over into Matchroom because I think like his time with Frank Warren and whatever he was doing in America was up. So Barry said brought him over. And the first fight, Michael Sprott upset Audley. That was a few years back before that fight there. He knocked him out. He knocked Audley out. But Audley, it was a great fight, man. Because Audley was I think Audley was behind on points. Yeah? And his right arm was messed up. It was for the European title. And Audley pulled out that left hook and knocked Michael Sprott out in the last round. Knocked him out. And then, see, that was around 2010. Yeah? And at that time, Eddie was kind of just finding his feet. Eddie was like, you know, he was promoting shows, but he was just you know, baby steps. But you see the next fight after that. Before we go there, what it was, yeah, when they signed Audley, it looked like it was all over. So Eddie came up with the idea, why don't you go in the prize fighter tournament, right? And Audley won the prize fighter tournament, right? He won the prize fighter tournament. Then he beat Michael Sprott for the European title. And the next thing, they blagged their way into this David Haye fight. They blagged their way into the fight. Which how they pulled it off, right? And it was a pay-per-view fight, Haye versus Audley. And Audley says that the pay-per-view contract that he drafted up with Matchroom and Sky was the same template that Audley kept using. That Eddie kept using for Carl Froch, for AJ, etc., etc., etc. Because it was that fight that Eddie cut his teeth. You know what I mean? He had Lee Purdy versus Devin Alexander before that, but yeah, I mean, But yo, what a blag. What a blag. And then, listen, the fight was like, it was awful. The fight was awful. Only froze, bro. Like, it was awful. All his career is funny, man. I tell you, man. And he got stopped in 3. And then the fight he had after, remember he fought the guy Ali Adams. I tell you what, right? I never laughed more over anything in boxing than that Audley Harrison, Ali Adams press conference. I was in stitches, right? Now, the fight itself already stopped him in the 4th. And Ali Adams popped for PEDs, right? But the press conference, right? They're going back and forth talking crap. And Audley told him, blah, 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 I'm from Halsden. I'm from Halsden. Ali Adams said, I'm from Iraq. He said, I'm from Iraq. Hey, listen, I was in tears. I was in tears, man. Never laughed so much. That press conference was like gold. Absolute gold. Man. I'm from Halsden. Yeah, I'm from Iraq. You gotta be kidding me. What banter? Whoa. Anthony Mackin, the Michael Sprott knockout was cold as ice, though. Yeah, it was. Only pulled that out. Pulled out that knockout, bro. Blue says, yeah, the snot beat out of all the, yeah. Remember Ike, when Ike fought Chris Bird, he punched the snot out of his nose. Punched snot, was it snot? It was spit. He punched spit out of Chris Bird's mouth, bro. It was Canelo. When he knocked out Amir Khan, the snot just flew out of Amir Khan's nose, you know. Wow. Anthony Mackin went only hit the canvas against Hay. The sound echoed around the MEN arena. Wow. Yeah. Souza, Beats, do you remember the Amir Khan Phil DeGreco press conference? Not really. I remember the fight. Like, Khan dealt with him quick, innit? He dealt with him quick, bruh. Case K. Crazy how all he fell flat on his face as a pro, as an Olympic gold medalist. Yeah, it just wasn't meant to happen. Just wasn't meant to happen. You know what I mean? He wasn't cut out for it. You know what I mean? He did his best. He had some good moments, though. He had a few moments. European champion. Yeah, man. Michael Sprott, man. And that was just after he come off that good win against Danny Williams. Michael Sprott flattened him in 3, man. He never won the British title or the Commonwealth. He won the European. Not too bad. Not too bad. He said I think on Twitter he said he's going to start promoting fights. Blues Benno, Fraudly, my mate used to call him. Yeah, that was his nickname. Audley versus Herbie Hyde would have been nice if it went ahead, says Anthony. Who did Audley fight from Blackpool? Matthew something, stocky guy. It went off with him and Herbie post fight. In that fight, I remember it went off because you know Herbie was volatile and Herbie would always get into scraps. It nearly went off between him and Audley. I remember that. That'd have been a good fight. Case K, I remember seeing that white dude on Big Brother clowning Orly for failing in pro boxing. It was kind of messed up. I remember that. That guy, he was pissing me off. He was really pissing me off. Really pissing me off. Yeah, Herbie was crazy. Linkage, Prime Orderly versus Ngannou. What, in a boxing ring? Depends, man. Like, yeah, hey, catch Orderly on the right day, he'd beat Ngannou. Anthony says, yes, it went off in the York Hall when Orderly was goading Herbie post-fight, and it was live on the BBC. Yeah. I remember it. Herbie was just crazy. Case K. Ngannou with Wilder, I heard about that one. That's a good fight, you know. That's a good fight. It's a good fight, but Ngannou can't. Ngannou's not going to win it. Not going to win. And see, the thing is, it all depends, though. If Wilder goes in there stupid and thinks he can just flatten my guy with one punch and not have to, like do a bit of boxing, then it could go left. It could go left. But if he's smart, uses his feet for a couple of rounds, he'll spark Ngannou out. He'll take Ngannou out. He'll take him out. It shows you, man, like Fury is a good fighter, but he's so overrated. Like, how did Ngannou like rough him up like that, man? Ngannou was roughing Fury up, bro. Beating him to the punch. Oh yeah, like if Ngannou lands first, case it could be all types of issues for Wilder. All types of issues. I remember that actually when Frank Bruno went into the ring with Orly and they were posing for photos. Orly was asking the crowd if they wanted to see him against Herbie or Bruno. And the crowd was like, Bruno. Yeah. I remember that. Did you know Eddie Hearn was actually trying to make a Frank Bruno Anthony Joshua fight? I found that out recently. I was like, bloody hell. Is this true? Crazy, man. Big Frank and a Big Frank Bruno. He would have maybe not that version, but prime for prime, he would have beat Orly. Prime for prime. No disrespect, Orly. I like Orly, but Frank would have done him. He would have knocked him out. Case K, low key, I thought Ngannou beat Fury. It was close. Definitely had a case. Souza, Bruno's wife, really annoyed me. What was her name? Laura. Hey, listen, don't rap with her though, bro. She didn't play though. She didn't play, boy. That was a hard woman. She was his manager, and she was one hard-nosed woman, bro. Hard-nosed. Yeah, Fraser Clark, he's in the same kind of situation as Orly when they have turned pro too old. Yes. Yes, indeed. Big up Naeem from Ringside Fracas. Yeah, man. I tell you what, yeah, if anyone wants to jump on, do a half hour, let me know, or I'm going to shut it down. If no one jumps on, I'm shutting down. Anthony says the Frank Bruno who faced Lennox would have beaten Orly, and also AJ. Too strong and the jab too accurate and ramrod. Yeah, he probably would have beat AJ. He probably would have done. I don't think it would be easy though. But Audley, I can see Audley crumbling to Frank. AJ maybe not so easy, but yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. I'd actually agree. I'd actually agree. Case K beats. Why do some of these British guys turn pro so old? Because they get comfortable in the setup, man. Yeah, they get comfortable. You know what I mean? They just stay like Joe Joyce is another one. Stayed there a long time. BG London. Laura moved to Tyson. Yeah, she was like, it, was it in Vegas? The rematch was in Vegas. Yeah, she's and you know Tyson was rolling with them thugs who he came out when he came out of prison. She saw them. I can't remember, and she started, hey, there's that, and running her mouth. She didn't care. She didn't care. She did business. And it must have been the Lennox Lewis fight. She had some issues with Frank Maloney. So Frank Maloney said, okay, Laura, I hope we can just let bygones be bygones and move on. She spat in his face. She spat in Frank Maloney's face. Yeah, she spat in his face. And you know how Frank picked her up, innit? You know how Frank picked her up. They must have been at some skating rink and she squeezed his behind. She felt up his behind. Yeah, she's a man eater, predator. Yeah. Laura, she didn't play. She didn't play. She did not play, bro. She did not play. Yeah. She didn't play, bro. Case K, I've seen them talk about Ezra Taylor like he could be the next thing, and he's pushing 30. Yeah. Although you got Moses at all. How old is Moses? Moses ain't even 20. And they started Danny Dubois early as well. So, I mean, either very young or very old. Anthony said they take up the sport late as well, Beats. Audley started in his early 20s, yeah. Likewise, Joyce started in his life 2.5 years of playing rugby. Linkage, do you think Vegas fights soon with the Saudis, Caleb? Do you think Vegas? Do you think Vegas fights soon with the Saudis? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Fight soon with the Saudis. There's nothing to fight about. You either put the fights on or you don't. You'll either go to Vegas or you go to Saudi or go where you're going to get paid the most. Right. At this point, people probably going to shut it down. Yeah, Joshua started late, but he thankfully turned pro a little before Joe Joyce did. Joyce just stayed way too long, burnt himself out in there as well. Hard opponents, man. Case K, Ezra Taylor is 30. He literally has 5 years max to do anything. Yeah, yeah. You see, you know what it is? A lot of them black fighters, they think the black don't crack just because they look a little young and stuff like that. He turned pro too old, man. Turned pro too old. Too old, man. Hey, peace out, man. Peace out, everybody. Big yourselves up.